Audible? I don't think I'm audible. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are enjoying this new edition of HOSI. Okay. I am Amit Shukla. I am the CEO and founder of Pursuite. I am also the founder of one of the most iconic fashion brands of India, fashion brands Coos. And today I am here to talk about the future, okay, and how our focus has to be the future. Now, hospitality today is at a very interesting and at a very exciting point today. And it brings a lot of challenges with itself. Should I? Okay. All right. So I'm listing down a few of the challenges, which is enhancing the guest experience, scaling business at low cost, and improving the top and bottom lines. Now, traditionally, how these So traditionally, how these challenges have been met is by adoption of customer-facing technologies for revenue enhancements, increasing of turnovers, and cost rationalization in the terms of cost cutting. And traditionally, computers have been used to digitize the traditional processes and mostly in form of digital record keeping. Now we are at such a point where this is just not enough. Our focus has to be on not just meeting the business challenges, but on strengthening our business competitiveness. And this can be done by strategic cost controls, using the computers as digital enablers, and digital optimization of complex traditional processes. Now, one of the most complicated processes involving the hotel operations is procurement. Now, the whole process is complex, is very unsustainable at scale. It has inbuilt delays. It has a lot of control issues. It is marred with a lot of leakages and non-transparency throughout the cycle. And it is resource intensive, hence it has a lot of implicit costs. Enters Pursuite. Pursuite is one of a kind B2B marketplace for the HoReCa industry. Pursuite is an intuitive cloud-based solution space where we take the problem of procurement and convert it into enterprise spend management. We have worked with almost all major brands, and we have worked across major categories, across geographies, and across countries. Now, how do we do it? Is we make the whole process simple, efficient, scalable, secure, and reliable. The whole ecosystem is powered by a fair and transparent marketplace, end-to-end simplified purchase management, simplified payables management, meaning that you can manage more than 250 suppliers across your whole buying cycle on a single platform, real-time supply chain visibility, organizational controls with workflow management. What that means is you can enforce brand standards, you can manage all supplies, you can have control over your deliveries, and enterprise sprint control, where we give you advanced business analytics and actionable insights that help you manage your spend better and convert the whole process to enterprise spend management. Now, how do we do it? Is we have identified three factors. One is we understand, we work across the class with different types of buyers. So what we do is we understand the need of each and every buyer. We curate the choices as per those buyers. And what we do is then we help ensure that all the process is repeatable. We convert them into rate contracts. We make sure we manage the supply chain. And all of this is done through on the top of excellent customer service. Our team helps the buyers in all of this. Okay. Now, I'll quickly help you understand about the need process here, because what we do is we profile each type of customers, and based on whether it's a purchase team, it's a project team, whether it's a consultant, What are their brand standards, whether it's a luxury, upper mid-market, mid-market, budget, and what their brand preferences are, what their purchase cycles are, what their credit and delivery requirements are. What we do is we take all these choices and we present it to your purchase team. And once they make the choices, we have an intuitive system that keeps learning, and the whole process is repeatable. So what happens is the next time we are able to provide you even sharper and even better choices for each of your requirements. This helps in 60% reduction in procurement time and overall efficiency of 4 times. We help you in saving 70% across time, across space, paper, inventory carrying cost, and all of this reduce the business risk by 20%. We would love to partner with you in going along with you on your growth trajectory, so that you can focus on what you do best, and we can help you in the pursuit of improving bottom lines, in your pursuit of scaling businesses at low cost, and in your pursuit of improving operational performance and enhancing guest experience. We have a booth just outside, and me and my team would like to answer any questions, or we would love to help you with anything that you are facing a problem with. And thank you so much. You have been a great audience.
Next up, we have Anshul Gupta, Vice President, Travel Industry, Accenture Technology.
Good afternoon. All right. I am Anshul Gupta. I lead travel industry at Accenture Technology. I will ask for a show of hands, and I'm sure a lot of those are going to go up. Outside of your working hours, how many of you have stayed for about 2-3 nights in the last 1 year at a hotel? Show of hands, please. All right. Those of you who, please keep your hands raised up. I'm going to ask 2 more questions. How many of you have a landline at home? The rest can put their hands down. How many of you regularly use that landline? All right, look around. How many hands up? And where in the world do we have maximum number of landlines? In our hotels. So imagine the big gap in what we as travelers are used to on a regular basis versus what we are forcing the travelers to use at our hotels. And that's where I see the guest needs to come to the center of the tech revolution. Tell me, what are the top measures of success for a hotel company, just like any other business? Revenue, margins. Revenue is reported as RevPAR, TRevPAR, ADR, and so on and so forth as well in the annual reports. And margins also are reported as P ratio to the stakeholders, or to the shareholders. What is the other measure of success for hotels? Customer experience, guest satisfaction, CSAT, NPS, Net Promoter Score. Does that ever find a mention in the annual reports? Not really. I looked at the annual reports for the last 4 years for the world's 5 largest hotel companies. And you know what the answer is going to be. I didn't find much on customer satisfaction, except one company that has recently started publishing the customer satisfaction scores for the last 4 years in the annual report. And I'm sure other companies are going to join soon. And that's a good news. I am very happy that the CIOs today are getting a seat in board meetings. There are new roles led by technology coming into the hotel industry. Chief Digital Officer, Chief Experience and Innovation Officer, right? And I am close to technology, so I'm very happy with that. Talking about digital and IoT, there's a lot that hotel industry can learn from floating hotels, which is cruise lines. Whether it is attribute-based pricing, whether it is guest experience transformation, cruise lines are doing quite a bit of things. Let's take an example, Carnival Cruise Lines. You remember when we were kids, we used to enjoy our vacation not worrying about room keys, identity cards, wallets, mobile phones, and so on and so forth. That's what the guest experience transformation at Carnival enables. High-touch technology with human touch. A small disk-sized medallion which is fitted with Bluetooth and NFC technology can enable this. You can be in your room and you can order a drink. You don't have to wait in your room to get that drink. You can go to the pool and the order is going to follow you wherever you are on that cruise ship. And you can imagine what size of a cruise ship it is. It's all happening now. Cruise embarkation, which is very similar to hotel check-ins. It was a very tedious process earlier. It used to take at least 10 minutes per guest. Long queues, lot of paperwork, lot of staff also needs to be deployed. Customer frustration, that's what used to happen. It has been drastically cut down from 10 minutes to mere 30 seconds. And that's what I call as guest at the center of the tech revolution. Let's look at data analytics. Data analytics and AI, machine learning, all of those together. Hotels also have been doing revenue management, price forecasting, all of this, right? Customer analytics, website analytics, look-to-book ratio, all of this has been going on for decades, nothing new. Which hotel room or room type sells more in which season, in which market? And we adjust the price accordingly. This is all table stakes now, and it only leads to about 60 to 70% of the true revenue potential that the hotel has. We can no longer run a car forward by just looking at the rear view mirror. Data analytics needs to get predictive. We should be able to predict for a particular customer whether the person has potential to pay for that room upgrade or not, and give that offer of room upgrade only to that particular customer and no one else. That is its true potential. I will conclude by saying that the true and the best resolution of a customer request or complaint is when one such request or complaint never gets recorded in our systems. We deliver extra set of towels to the customers, to the guests, even before they're asking for it. We fix a leak in the shower in the bathroom, even before the customer ever notices it. And all of this is happening today through technology. And that's where the vision of guest at the center of tech revolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Samuel Machado, General Manager, South Asia, Sabre Hospitality Solutions.
Hello. Thank you. My name is Sam. I only have 6 minutes to talk about innovation. That is crazy. So, Avijit talked about bringing guests from all the channels to your brand website or booking engine. We have 40,000 hotels on our platform, and what we can see is only 2 to 5% of that 40,000 are getting converted in bookings, right? So the 95% of those guests are moving away. For us, this is distraction, and the main reason is there is no relevance in terms of the content that is being sent in front of the guests. So guest experience is, are we putting the right content in front of the guests? So let us talk about the guest journey. Broadly speaking, only 5 stages. These are all usual suspects. We are only going to talk about the shop and book, and the reason why this is important is, as I mentioned, all the efforts have been made. People are coming to your brand website, and now you need to make sure that the booking happens, right? The problem is we have a lot of distraction. Hundreds of hotels, too many room types, rate plans, so much of distraction. How do we make sure that the right relevant content is being presented in front of the guests? You only have 2 minutes. 2 minutes for you to capture the attention of the traveler, right? And hence we need to make sure that the content is relevant and is really optimum for the guest. Only 74% of the travelers are telling that the content was not relevant. And if the content was relevant, the conversion could have gone up by 42%. That shows the relevance. If you give too many choices, too many options, then the time taken for making a decision is extremely high. And hence, we need to make sure that the paradox of technology has been sorted. Let us take an example of what is happening today. If someone comes to your brand website, he clicks on an image, which is a club room. Fantastic image, beautiful view of the room. And now he wants to book that particular room. He clicks on book now. We are taking him from the website to booking engine. And now you are showing him 10 red plans, 100 room types. Now the person is completely confused. He's not seeing that room type which was actually shown to him on the website. What we are now doing is we are, instead of taking someone from website to booking engine, we are now bringing the booking engine which will come and sit on the top of that image so that the person is going to book that particular room type. And hence, I'm going to quickly show you an example. So this is the room type, fantastic room. I can scroll at the bottom of the screen and then I can see the price changing real time. The booking engine is getting rendered on the screen. You can change the dates. Okay, I don't like it. I again come down, scroll it, and then the price points are changing accordingly. Now what happens is if I click on check now or check availability, the booking engine renders on the screen. The price changes. I'll select this room type. I'll go ahead. I have a choice whether or not to book a package of promotion, and now the guest information is coming on that particular room. No distraction at all. The guest wanted a particular room and I am allowing him or her to book that room. Another example is a hotel which is showing a view. Thank you. So I want to book this view and I want to only see those room types which are offering that particular view. So I want to book this view, show me the options which are offering this view, and then the system shows 3 options. The cheapest is 799, and then calendar opens there on that image or view, and the booking happens then and there. No distraction, and you are trying to make sure that the booking happens there. Another example is if someone is selecting arrival date of Friday, departure of Sunday, 2 adults, 2 kids, can we define the personas? On left hand side it's family persona, on the right hand side is business persona, and show the results accordingly. So the room types, red plans will be listed as per the personas, and the associated packages will be as per the personas as well. That makes sure that you are actually offering the best possible relevant content in front of the guest. Now, one last point that we are also trying to solve with the help of this innovation is if you have 300 hotels, hundreds of products are going to be managed by your distribution team because you have room types, rate plans, packages. How do you solve this technology deluge? So I'm going to show you a quick video which helps you understand how to solve the technology issues that your distribution teams have, and then that's how I conclude my presentation.
Our next panelist is Shreya Soni Vasudeva, founder and CEO, DSSC.
I am going to test this. Can you all hear me? Okay, amazing. I haven't been in a room full of suits in over a decade, so I'm like part excited, part petrified. My name is Shreya Soni. I run something called Delhi Secret Supper Club. It's India's first secretly run immersive dining and lifestyle club. I've had the great fortune of working with some of you in the room on projects and campaigns. It's good to see you. But I can also imagine a lot of you in the room are still reeling off Delhi Secret what. So I'm going to reel back and explain what I actually do. I studied and worked in England, and I moved back to Delhi in about 2013. And I saw this big gap in the market for curated experiences and meeting like-minded people over just good food. And with that in mind, and the support of the mother of all inventions, which is boredom, DSSC came into play. It started off as a social experiment, and the idea and the base premise was really simple. We wanted to kind of like reverse some of the key factors that were playing in the industry, where it was more about the founder and less the product. And we wanted to kind of reverse that process. So with that in mind, essentially DSSC came into play with kind of addressing three factors, which was curated experiences, immersive dining, and anonymity. So for 4 years, I ran the organization in complete incognito mode. My poor mother had to wear a wig and go to the locations and make sure that the experiences were happening on track. From that, in 2013, and that first social experiment, we've kind of progressed to becoming India's leading experiential marketing agencies. And we've kind of like built a format that marries the intimacy of offline and the digital amplification power of the online. I'm not going to go through the slides right now because I know this is potentially not working. I'm just going to explain the kind of work that we end up doing. So essentially, I also disagree with some of the comments that were made in the previous session about the changing audience in India. I don't think influencers come cheap. That's my number one point. And secondly, also, the audience now has become a lot more discerning. They're exposed to a lot more content. They are keen to know more, but they need, now the equity is not necessarily their money, but it's their time. And that's what we cater to. So I feel a lot of you in this room, when you build experiences or products or launching whatever product or a service, it's quite imperative to recognize that. With online campaigns, what we do is that we kind of like, again, we try to break another myth in the industry that content needs to be viral. And we went back to turn it on its head about making content which respects long-form storytelling. And with the original 20,000 hits, we now have a healthy kind of traction of 1 million hits a month. So yes, there is an audience who is interested in hearing your story in a little more long-form narrative. In terms of like offline, I feel like the consumer has changed. I feel in any case, the cycle develops every 3 to 5 years. But the last decade has been more interesting for India. And that's mainly because the inclusion of the kind of like the massive virality of digital growth. And with that in mind, we kind of like build experiences about launching cool products in the country. So right from, say, a hotel like Andaz, and that was their flagship property in India, or the German gin like Monkey 47, when they got acquired and they launched in India. So the idea is that how do you kind of respect the bigger equity of the consumer, which is their time? And how do you personalize, how do you curate and create layered, seeded content for these consumers? So in many ways and forms, my kind of like logic about addressing consumers and experiences for the hospitality industry kind of differs quite starkly to the conversations that happened about 20 minutes back. And with that in mind, like, thank you so much for having me over. It's such a pleasure to be here in such august company. And if any of this didn't make sense, it's just because I'm suffering from jet lag. I flew Air India from Bombay to Delhi, so you can imagine the delays in that. Thank you so much for having me here.
Our last panelist is Sunando Chaudhuri, Advisor IT, Abu Dhabi National Exhibition Company.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I'm not a hotelier first. So I was very worried when I came in and walked in this morning. I flew in yesterday night, and I was thinking, what am I going to talk? This looks all alien for most of you, maybe. I don't know. So I was a bit worried. But I think during the course of the day, we've seen more technology being discussed, which was a pleasant surprise for me personally. And again, we have a few minutes, as you know, so I'm just going to introduce you to a concept, platform. I'm not going to discuss anything technical here. I think just before me, prior to me, the people who were on stage pretty much touched upon numerous aspects. IoT was discussed. I think obviously websites and all were discussed since morning. So I'm just going to briefly touch upon another technology, which is, I think, over the next few years, it's already started coming in. It's increasing as we speak. So it might touch many of you over the next few years. So I'll try to keep it non-technical. Feel free to ask me if you need some more details. Yeah. So again, you can read the definitions. It's not important. I mean, the message is, blockchain is more like a platform that's going to slowly come into any industry. Hospitality is not far behind, and it's coming in, whereby everything starting from a customer to the hotel, to the travel industry, to the payment platforms, everything will be connected, everything will be seamless, everything will flow using this technology. It would take support from other technologies. It would take support from the various, I would say, the various people who are on the chain, as we call it. It's a connected network. That's what is going to happen. It is coming in. A lot of industries have already moved in, medical being one, travel tourism being one, and I'm sure even hotels, I'm sure some of them are already into it. It will move on. So, I mean, you can read the slides, of course. Sorry. Oops. Yeah, there you go. So again, key elements, again, you can keep on reading through. Again, as I said, it's a distributed network. Everybody is connected at various points on the network. Any changes that happen on the network, any transaction that happens is effectively seen by everybody. So that's the main component. That's why you can really see when a customer books anything, how it goes on, how the payment processes. Even a hotel can see, a customer can see. Everybody connected on the network. The travel agent can see, the airlines can see, everybody can see. And the second important point is it's immutable. Any records that are on the network cannot be deleted. So it won't happen that you have missed something. It will be there. And obviously it's secure and fast, and few other elements are mentioned on to your right. So these are the few key features of the technology. So where do we fit in the hospitality industry? That's the important question, because there's no point in bringing in a technology and trying to force fit it into any environment. So the important thing is, how do we fit in? Where do we see other use cases that can be used within our industry? Some of them, secure payments, as I mentioned already. So that's something that can be done. It's safe, it's global, it can be done across the world. Any bank, any financial house can be there. ID and security. One of my colleagues spoke just now on IoT and things like that. Even there were discussions in the morning. Why does a guest need to walk in a hotel and come to that reception desk and start asking questions? My room, etc., etc. Why can't a guest just walk in and walk right into his or her room and find the room absolutely set up as they expect it to be set up? Why their unique ID is not captured? And many of you are business travelers. And I've heard this many times, especially if you're traveling globally. You'll see, so you travel, business, and then you land in a country where, and then you're waiting for that Uber to come in or something to come in. So you suddenly from a business class, you don't know how do you get to the conference venue. And so if everything is digitally connected, if you have a single ID as an individual, everything will work seamlessly. So your travel platform and your hotel platform, your conference platform, all will be linked up. And obviously it's secure. Loyalty programs, this is something for sure this technology is going to impact and work. One of the biggest challenges which airlines industry has, baggage tracking. This is, in many countries, I'm sure most of you travel around, in many countries there's no need for visa stamping and things like that. So what happens is you kind of go in, you put your passport or travel document, and you go inside that country. And once you're inside, now you're waiting on that baggage platform. Sorry, 1 minute, yeah. The baggage platform, hoping your luggage will turn up. But if it had a digital ID, you would not be worried and you would still know exactly where your luggage is. It's getting down from the airplane, it's moving on, and then you know exactly when it is going to arrive at your place. So these are some of the use cases. Again, taking something from the morning, if you think it's going to come in, no, it's already come in. Oops. Already, there are lots of use cases. I put in the links. I think the slides are available as I understand. Feel free to go in. There are videos. Click on them and see how the hospitality industry is already using them. So there are, I've just put in 5 or 6. I can tell you at least there are 50. Oops. Yeah, so key takeaways quickly. It's a future internet, believe me. It is going to come in and pervade our lives in some way or form. So better we are aware of it. It's a use it as an enabler. Again, something that was spoken in the morning. So please keep a note of that. Know the regulations, because some countries have regulations, some are still trying to bring in regulations. Many countries don't have regulations at this point in time. And public and private blockchain, so it's what data you want to share, what you don't want to share. This kind of environment is there. End of the day, it removes the intermediaries, your costs come down. And I think all of us are trying to do that. That's it. Thank you very much. My details are there. Happy to provide any more details. Thank you.